All right. And we're live. Y'all, welcome to another episode of Black Girl Interrupted. And as y'all could see, I can't never get my hand. Okay, there we go. Let me see. Can I do it? Y'all already know who that is at the bottom. But I got nephew with me on here today. So, nephew, since you new to the show, introduce yourself. Tell them who you are. They want to know about you. Let them
Hi,
know.
how y'all doing? My name is Rodney Griffin Jr. I am the host of my own podcast, the Slick Talk Podcast, where we have conversation that needs to be conversed. And I'm just a pop up on here on the Black Girls Interrupted podcast, man. Just showing my face a little bit here and there.
And you down at the bottom, sir?
I mean, I've been here like I don't know. They already know who I am. So, but for the new viewers that are here, I'm Jagori Colbert, the son of Ashley Pitts. The creator of Black Girl Interrupted. What's up?
That would be me. I bet y'all are really wondering. Y'all are like, why does she have this black on today? Y'all already know why. Y'all already know why. Y'all know why I'm here today. Y'all know what we discussing. But before we even jump into the conversation, y'all already know I gotta do my mental health check-in. How's everybody feeling today? Drop in the comments. Let me know how you feel today. Y'all already know I gotta play this. This is for everybody. If y'all want, y'all can cut your cameras off. As I play the video, and then when the video ends, you can cut your cameras back on. So here we go. I always have to start my show with this. Like I say,
Mhm.
it's Mental Health Awareness Month. I want people to know you're not alone. You're not by yourself. You need help. Here is the number. Y'all know I post this stuff all the time. Y'all know I let y'all know. Oh, just here we go. There is suicide prevention hotline. I'm gonna leave that up for about a minute. So if you or someone you is contemplating suicide, please, y'all know I cannot stress this enough. Please call the number on the screen 1-800-273-8255. If you can't get that phone number, call 911. Save a life. Now, we need to start checking on our strong friends. We need to start, checking on them, letting them know we're thinking about them. A text, a phone call, an instant message, something will change somebody's day. Make a difference. And then, I also have the statewide crisis line 1-855-274-7471. Y'all already know. You need help? Call those numbers. Reach out those numbers. Please. Call somebody, help somebody, save somebody. And I want everybody that's watching to know suicide is not an option. Please call me anytime. Y'all know my phone number. Y'all know my DMs stay open. I'm here. I'm here to help y'all go through it. Being a person that suffers from depression and anxiety, I absolutely know what you're going through, and you won't be judged. You will absolutely not be judged. I love everybody. Okay. So before we even jump into today's show, hold on. Wait a minute. We have a comment. Hey Jarrell, how you doing? I'm good. As you can see, I got my nephew and my son. I finally got my hands together. I'm so proud of myself. Hey,
Look at that. Look at that.
look
You
at
got the
God
slick.
going
You
to
got the
do it.
slick talk on your show and see what happens. You get stuff wrong the first try. Look at that.
Right. I'm good today. It's it was raining. I don't know if it stopped. Who knows? I know they got that little thing out there in the Gulf. Who knows? Jarrell says, "Hey y'all."
What's going on, Gerard? How you doing, man? Hope everything's going well for you. I wish you nothing but love and happiness out there, man. Real talk.
I'm telling you. Okay, so I have a little video. Like I say, I play this every episode. every episode. Um, and this is just to let somebody know who's ever going through something. Like I say, it's Mental Health Awareness Month. And please know that it does not end May 31st. Mental health is so imperative, especially in the Black community. With everything that's going on, man, we got depression and anxiety at an all-time high, y'all. Here we go.
You know, I don't know who this video is for, man, but it's like 4 a.m. in the morning, May 10th, and my heart is heavy because I know there's somebody out there that is ready to end their life, that's already made up in their mind that they're not going to fight no more. They're tired of fighting. You know, they don't have no more strength to find because they've already gave all their strength. They don't have the strength to turn the page. They don't have the strength to see tomorrow. They made up in their mind that their life is over. And maybe they logged on to Facebook. Maybe you logged on to Facebook and looking for a sign. Maybe you logged on to say your goodbyes and you came across this video. So I just want to tell you, man, that don't let those thoughts that are trying to kill you, kill you. Those thoughts that telling you life is over, those thoughts that telling you you're not enough, those thoughts that tell you things won't get better, those thoughts that tell you that you are your mistakes, those thoughts that tell you that you are your past, those thoughts that tell you that you're worthless. Don't let those thoughts kill you. They're lying to you. Because you're more than that. You're more than a conqueror. You're more than what you're going through. You do have purpose. You are awesome. You are talented. You are beautiful. You are special, despite what you've been going through. So you make up in your mind right now. Okay, you don't have to have a whole plan out for the rest of your life. But you make up in your mind right now that you're going to fight with faith tonight. You make up in your mind right now that you're going to survive tonight. Whatever it takes. I pray that you have a peace in your mind that floods your mind like never before, to let you know, despite everything that you're going through, the storms that you're going through, the flood that's flooding your life with pain right now, I pray that peace tells you that everything is going to be okay. I pray that you find the strength inside of your weakest moment right now that lets you know that everything is going to be okay. So you put down that gun, you put down that drug, those pills, you put it down, man. Because there's more to your life than what you're currently going through. And you'll never understand it if you quit right now. But I promise you, if you fight with faith, you fight with prayer, eventually you'll realize everything that you went through had a purpose. Everything that you went through had a purpose. Life will get better. But if you end your life, you prevent it from getting better. All right?
That was powerful.
Right. Let me tell you how I found that video. I was having a rough day. Um, you don't know, Rodney. My father passed away back in March. So I've had a hard time dealing with it. Um,
My condolences.
Thank you. So I was on YouTube just scrolling through, and I was doing my episode on suicide, and that video popped up. And so I watched it. I was like, "Oh wow. I have to have this on my show. Like, I've got to open my show with this because you don't know what a person is going through. You know, life is so heavy, and you just don't know what a person's carrying on their plate, on their shoulders. But you want to encourage them to let them know, hey, I got you. Keep going. It's going to get better. No matter how many times you fall, it's going to get better for you. This young man down here at the bottom, I owe my life to my son. Because I was once in that boat. My son is who pushed me to change and get better, to want to be better. My son. I thank God every day. But this one down here at the bottom is who told me, hey, you got a light in you that's so bright, you're stepping on your own toes, and this is what you're doing to us in the process. You need to get together. So I had to make the change. I had to sit down and I had to say, you know what? I got to live for my kids. I got to do all of that. My kids depend on me. And here we go. So that video, I have to show it. You know, like I say, somebody needs to see it. Somebody needs to hear it. And with everything that's going on in the world today, especially to you black men and black women, suicide is at an all-time high right now. Mental illness is at an all-time high in the black community. Now is not the time for us to be divided. Now is the time for us to come together. Whew. It gets heavy on Black Girl Interrupted. It really does. But hey, we got to continue to have these conversations. We have to remove the stigma around mental health. We as black folks, we don't want to go get help. We don't want to believe that we need help. We sit and we say, how can someone that doesn't know me try to help me get my life together? You get what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So this is why we don't go to therapy. Then we don't have the resources. We don't have the finances to go. They've cut funding to mental health. And we real lives suffer from bipolar, schizophrenia, post traumatic stress syndrome. We deal with this. Hey, my baby.
How you doing, Willie?
Hey, my sugar. So yeah, we've got to keep having these conversations in regards to mental health. So do not think the conversation of mental health ends May 31st. Y'all keep dropping in the comments. Let me know how y'all feeling today. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to jump into tonight's show. Here we go.
Let's do it.
Ronald Greene. 2 years later. For those that do not know who Ronald Greene is, Ronald Greene was headed to Florida to meet his wife. He was a barber in Monroe, Louisiana, who allegedly took police officers on a high-speed chase and ultimately ended up losing his life. May 10, 2019, Ronald Greene lost his life. What I'm about to show y'all is graphic. It's a trigger for some. But we've got to talk about this. We have to talk about it. Tonight we're going to talk about why did it take 2 years? The cover-up by the Louisiana State Police. Why? Why now? Why did you wait so long? This family deserves justice. They deserve closure and peace. Please brace yourself for this video. I'm letting you know it is very graphic. Whew. Here we go.
I'm scared. I'm just scared. Get out of the car. Get out of the car. I'm driving me, Chris. I'm scared.
Mr. Greene was, to some degree, even though he had just finished leading police officers on a lengthy and high-speed chase, his inclination at that particular point was to acquiesce to what the officers wanted.
Let me see your hands. Put your hands behind your back, bitch. Give me your fucking hands. Put your hands behind your back. Taser, taser, taser. Put your hands behind your back. Behind your back. You're about to get it again if you don't put your fucking hands behind your back. Put your hands behind your back. I'm sorry.
What's problematic for me is that Mr. Greene is now left on the ground, on his stomach, handcuffed in a prone position. And officers are trained throughout the United States that once there's a struggle of this nature, and the individual's handcuffed, that you need to push him off onto his side or get him in a sitting position so you can allow that breathing to be unimpeded by his own body weight.
This guy ain't got fucking AIDS.
And that didn't happen for at least, based on my calculation, 9 minutes, where Mr. Greene was left alone. And then when he wasn't left alone and he tried to get over onto his side, another trooper pushed him down using his foot against the lower back and buttocks of Mr. Greene. And I didn't understand that. There was absolutely no reason for that. Under no circumstances should Mr. Greene have been drugged by his ankle shackles. That was malicious, sadistic, completely unnecessary. And the officer that did it's going to have to be held accountable.
This like brings me back to when you asked me after the Derek Chavez trial, when you told me what there would have been justice if there was no cameras. I told you no, and this right here is living proof of exactly what happened. Those 2 years, they fabricated a story and made it seem like they didn't do nothing.
Mr. Willie, understandable. That's hard to watch. I tell my friends sometimes it's we be surprised the type of cases that doesn't make the news, whether there's footage or not. If there wouldn't have been any footage, I doubt that half of us would have known about this, let alone there being the case about this. Honestly, don't hold my word for it. I'm not gonna act like I'm a guru when it comes to politics. Trust me, don't hold my word for it. But to be honest, like my family have a running joke about me driving slow when it comes to driving. Unless I'm on the interstate, that's fair game. But for me, I usually just take down on the chin mostly because like when I drive, I'm just usually scoping out for the cops because I try to make sure I don't get pulled over for mostly that reason. Things like that. And it sucks that no matter what, some way, somehow, this could happen. And you'll have to go through months and months, probably years, till a case will finally get discovered or exposed, and then stuff. Yeah, 2 years later. and we still trying to see whether or not the officers involved will get charged.
Well, one of the police officers is dead.
Oh, I didn't know that. Jeez.
He died in a car wreck the day before he was about to get fired. Suicide?
Oh, okay. I see where you're going with that. Okay.
That's the police officer that you're going to hear talking in the next video, telling you what he did to Mr. Greene. But before we even jump into the next video, I'm ready to get into the meat of the conversation.
Let's go.
So what I want to know is, why did it take 2 years? They had the footage. You had the body cam footage. Why now? Why not when it first happened?
Because they know once they show the footage, it's going to reveal all, and their jobs are going to be endangered.
So I'm about to show y'all some photos that are graphic. I'll go slow. I'm not going to show them all at the same time, but throughout the show. So here's Mr. Greene. After the other officers and the paramedics got there to him. This is after the fact. After the fact. There's Mr. Greene. There's Mr. Greene. A barber. And they allege that he got into a car wreck. That these injuries came from him crashing into a tree.
Even the doctor was suspicious.
Absolutely, because it didn't make sense.
Once he saw those
And they
taser
told him.
injections in the back, nah.
Yeah, because when they got him to the hospital, he still had 2 taser prongs in his back.
Not to mention, once you saw the car, it was like, when you look at the car, and no offense to the Greene family, but you also look at the body, it's like, something ain't adding up. The
What the
airbags
damage?
didn't even eject.
Right.
The front is clean.
And he did hit, but what they were saying, the way they say he hit, there was no damage to the tree.
Oh, I didn't even think about that. There probably wasn't any tree that they could find that was damaged.
Right.
At least make sure your lot's covered up.
But when you start getting medical examiners involved, they know. They study this. They know. The Louisiana State Police, y'all knew this. The people told you the night at the hospital that his injuries were not sustained by the crash, but they were consistent with blunt force trauma by some type of object. I'm still curious though. I want to talk about it. I want to get into the meat and potatoes of this. Why 2 years? Come on, Sambu. You look like you're about to say something.
I mean, I'm not really surprised because, like I mentioned this before, the police have some sort of like code of silence that they have, or something that they have to like keep their mouth shut if something were to go down, or like to cover for them. Like, like I can't say, I know that not all cops are bad, but to the good ones that are just sitting there, witnessing this happening and not, saying this, like,
You're just as
yeah,
guilty.
yeah, exactly. And the fact that it like took 2 years, like, I don't know if you heard me, but like I said, they'll always try to find a way to fabricate, change the story to make it seem like, oh, they didn't do nothing wrong. Like,
Right.
Yeah, my bad. I'm trying to look at like somebody comment on my video talking about leaving down information saying the government saw the footage and yet didn't fail to comment on it too.
Right. Right.
I'm trying to answer the question and add to it too because I don't want to leave you hanging because at the end of the day, there's always a lot of politics to leave the timeline longer than it should be. So
Right.
so-called good cops who don't speak up are just that's a fact.
yeah, it's
Right.
like,
That's a
yeah,
fact, Mrs. Teresa. That's a fact.
it's like, you witness something going on at your job, like someone's like being sexually harassed, and you don't do anything about it, and they do something drastic, or like they take their life. That blood is also on your hands.
Right.
I have a couple of friends that feel like there's no such thing as good cops, and to be honest, I can't argue against that statement. Even though I think they are, but I don't have any. I barely have any proof.
I mean, with me, I like to be more optimistic and believe there is good in the world
Me
because,
too.
as much as we have this bad stuff going on in America, also the world, but America in general, I would like to believe that there are some good people there and not just yeah.
You know, I just every day when y'all walk out of the door, I pray for y'all. And I think it's so sad that I have to sit down with y'all and have the talk. See, back in the day, the talk was about sex. That was the talk.
The birds and the
Now I have to
bees.
talk to y'all about leave your hands on the steering wheel.
Hmm.
Don't wear your hoodie. Pull,
Hmm.
pull the hood off your head. Keep
Hmm.
your hands out your pockets.
Don't get angry.
Right. Stay calm. Don't reach for anything. This is the conversations that I have to have with y'all now. And then it's like, please stay around a group of people. Don't ever go anywhere by, don't leave by yourself. If you're driving, please make sure you have your seatbelt on. Make sure your signal. Why do I have to keep having this conversation with y'all?
Right.
That's what hurts me the most. Is y'all can't even go and have a good time anymore. Because every day that y'all walk out of the door, y'all are a moving target. Y'all were born with two stripes. Black, and you're a male in America. Y'all didn't ask to come into this world to be treated unjustly. But unfortunately, here we are. When it comes to good cops and bad cops, you really can't tell between the two anymore. You really don't know. You can't tell. Because you got the good cops that sit back and don't say anything. I really feel like, and I say this to this day, they should have made an example out of the police officers that beat Rodney King. Y'all should have made an example out of the police officer that shot Oscar Grant. You should have made an example out of the police officers that shot Tamir Rice. Y'all should have made examples out of the police officers that killed Sean Bell and wounded his 3 friends. That's what y'all should have been doing. My thing is, it's time for us now to start holding these police officers. Let me calm down.
Yeah, go ahead, drink some water. You in auntie mode, like go ahead, breathe. Go ahead, breathe.
It's time. So Miss Teresa says, we have something going on here where I live now. It happened over a year ago, and the police have tried to sweep it all under the rug. But they basically murdered a young man named Dana Fletcher in the parking lot of Planet Fitness. And the scenario they have was total BS. They say the body cam footage showed the officers were justified, but they won't release the footage.
Of course they won't release the footage.
That sounds so familiar when it comes to Anthony Brown Jr.,
Yeah.
who was shot in the back of the head, who they say they were justified in killing him. I just, Miss Teresa says, I feel you, Ashley. I worry about my boys every time they leave the house. Why can't I just tell my son and my nephew, hey, y'all go out, have a good time? I have to say to y'all, make it back to me. Come home safe. I can't tell y'all to have a good time anymore.
I might as
Because
well
my
just like,
anxiety is at an all-time high the moment y'all walk out the door and say, hey, I'm going to hang with some friends.
Yeah, my dad used to not let me go play basketball around the corner from my house. At least walk alone for a while because like it's New Orleans, and not to mention like you never know what happens. Like after a while, like because we live in a nice neighborhood, he came around and let me do it. But still, the older I got, I understood. And the older I am, the more I understood why he and mom didn't let me do certain things or have certain things when I was younger. I remember mom and dad were strict as far as like no toy guns. And I always wondered that. And last year after the George Floyd situation, it came to my mind. And I asked dad, I was like, Dad, the what was the reason that you never let me have any toy guns because of what's going on with police brutality? He said, most definitely. Got it. Understandable. I would never I was upset why, but I was never mad. It's like, why you never let me have any toy guns? But I was always confused why he never. Now the older I am, the more I'm like, understandable.
Tamir Rice, prime example, 12 years old, was playing with a toy gun and was killed. The other young man, I want to say his name was John McDonald. I could be wrong. Let me look it up. Was killed in Walmart. I want to say that's his name. Is that his name? John.
That's another person that got killed. They thought there was a gun in his hand when it was a phone.
Um, I know the name. I know the name.
That's gotta suck, man.
But what's his name?
We can't even play with like little toy guns. I like Nerf guns, a water gun as
John
kids.
Crawford. That was his name, John Crawford. He was
R.P.
in
John Crawford.
Walmart. He was playing with he had a BB gun. He was holding a BB gun that was for sale in the store in Ohio, Beaver Creek, Ohio, right outside of Dayton.
I didn't know
No
about that.
charges were filed. A grand jury declined to indict the two officers involved on criminal charges. So what I want to know is, why is money always put on the table when a black man, a black woman, a black girl, or a black boy is killed?
Mm.
As if that's going to bring the person back. There's no amount of money.
Question.
Because I feel like this: if you feel like you've done nothing wrong, why is money always the first thing you want to offer us? It's almost like you're spitting in our face twice.
The most I could say, maybe to them, that could be like the hush money for them to probably calm down and help them somewhat get over what happened. That's the most I can say and take it from their perspective. I'm trying to think about the whole thing. But no matter what happens, like, no, there's not enough money in the world that can help you get over a lost one, especially when you lost them to a tragedy like that, especially.
So I'm about to show these pictures. So I want to know. Let me move the banner out. So that's worth $10 million. That right there.
It's priceless. A life is worth too much
Is
to
this
take.
worth $10 million?
It ain't working.
You got this police officer standing to the side. Ronald Greene is in handcuffs. How is he posing a threat to you? You got this other police officer that's standing there watching. And you got the other police officer on top of him. Here's a better view of it. And all you could say was, he bleeding all over the place. I hope he doesn't have AIDS. That's all you have to say.
That's another thing too. Like the commentary, Wilder was doing it, let me know that they really did not care.
No, they didn't care. They absolutely didn't care.
They called them an MFer the whole time. Like they weren't even doing like the regular like keep your hands up or I'll shoot or the the usual how they talk during like a hostile situation. They talk like how people are during Call of Duty.
Because they never show us any respect. We are so disrespected. They don't care. To them, it's just one less nigga they got to worry about.
And it sucks because it's like these are the guys that's supposed to quote unquote protect us.
That's what they're supposed to do.
That's
they're supposed to protect and serve.
Serve and protect, but instead they're judge, jury, and executioner.
What you say, son?
I said they're supposed to serve and protect, but instead they're judge, jury, and executioner.
Right. And then, what I don't understand, again, why is your gun the first thing you pull?
Why is it the first thing you reach for?
Right.
Why is it the first thing you think of? Stop reaching. I'll get my wallet. You asked my ID. Right.
You just asked me for my license and registration. We could go back and let's talk about Philando Castile for a minute. Philando Castile was complying and he still died. He told the police officer, I have a gun in the car. I'm licensed to carry. You're reaching for the information that the police officer asked you for, and he still was killed. in the car with his girlfriend and their daughter.
Ain't nothing
Philando
quick.
Castile worked with the police. I think he would go and volunteer, but he was an upstanding citizen. Killed.
They don't care.
No charges. I'm so sorry. The police officers were acquitted. We're still waiting on a conviction for Alton Sterling. Oh yeah, that's right. They just offered the family what? 23 million or 1.3 million dollars, something like that for Alton Sterling.
Elton Sterling was the one that was selling CDs, right?
In front of the store in Baton Rouge,
Oh,
Louisiana.
so
Yes.
that was when they was holding him down. The one guy put the on his chest. That foot was hard to watch. That they already had them pressed down. That was unnecessary.
But to me, I think the ones that become police, you do have some that really try to make a difference on the force. But again, it's really hard to tell the difference amongst the good ones and the bad ones.
Because there's so many bad ones.
Right. And then you have these police officers that walk around with chips on their shoulders. They arrogant, they cocky, they was beat up in elementary school or bullied in high school. Now all of a sudden they want to be police officers and they want to unjustly beat black men and black women.
You think that's what it is?
And then you have the higher ups that train them to target people of color.
I want to know the motivation behind that hate so bad.
Let
Honestly,
me tell you. Go ahead, nephew. What you was about to say?
because I remember there was this one video. Again, this was around the time after the George Floyd situation. There was one woman. This was during the protesting. She was at the back of a truck with a Confederate flag, proudly yelling at someone, and she was telling her, "I'm gonna teach my kids to hate you."
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Like, why do they hate us so much?
Oh,
Like, we
I,
don't
I
want to hate them. Like,
I have a theory. I have a theory.
we don't want to call them
Go
crack.
ahead.
Like, and I don't want to sound like I'm assaulting anybody. We don't want to call them crackers. We don't want to say we hate white people. We don't want to riot. We don't want to riot in the streets. We don't want to do this. You think we want to kneel? You think we want to march? You think Martin Luther King wanted to march at Selma hot in a suit with hard bottoms? Those were uncomfortable. You think he wanted to do that for real? For real? You think he wanted to go to jail? You think the people back in the day wanted to deal with fire hose? All because white people hated us. Segregation, the Jim Crow law, the grandfather clause, all this to tear us down. Why was there so much hate against us?
Do you realize how powerful black is?
Oh no, yeah, we powerful. We are powerful.
Black dominates everything. Anything you mix with black is black.
We're so powerful that they try to benefit off of us.
They fear us.
Yeah, that's why they hate us so much. Like I said, I have this theory that I believe
Okay.
that
Break it
occurred
down. I want to hear
where
this. Go ahead, Ja'Cory.
throughout history they've been living through this system that benefits the white people, and as soon as us we want to have some of that, it's changing up their whole rotation. Like, oh, you're messing things up. Stop, stay in your place. Leave things the way they were. Like, cause I forgot what was it, but like there were people like saying like, oh, I wish things would go back to the way things were. Where they would say like racist comments and people won't be so quote unquote sensitive to it or anything like that. Yeah, yeah.
I get what you're saying.
And you might have a point, Mrs. Teresa. You might have a point.
So Miss Teresa says people hate what they are afraid of and what they don't know, but they refuse to get to know you because they're worried about what other people will think. they have always looked at black people as trash.
But
And
yet
this goes
somehow
back to the
we
slave
made
days.
this America. I was just going there.
It
We
goes
made this
back
country
to
great in the first
slavery.
place that they brag about so much. Make
Right.
America great again. We made this country great in the first place since slavery.
You brought us here.
Mhm.
You should have left us alone.
Right. Y'all talk about
Y'all
go
came and
back to your
disturbed
country.
us. We were minding our own little business, and y'all came over here trying to intervene on our little barbecues that we was having, and you brought your potato salad with the raisins in it. That's the problem.
You kidnapped me. You didn't kidnap me and try to introduce me to unseasoned chicken. Let me show you how to do this, Boo. Hold on, give me a second.
Right.
And now
You
look,
tried to force me to eat your salt and pepper chicken.
and now look. We make all the soul food, and you benefit off all the money. I just found that a
Oh
black
yeah.
man made potato chips, and y'all branding off of it.
A black man did the stoplight.
Yeah,
It's a lot of things that we've done, and they just we don't get our accolades. We
and we
don't.
should.
But as in so far in today's age, in don't mean to like shift the conversation, but like in the superhero genre, I'm glad that we're like getting attention. Black Panther, Captain America,
R.P. Chadwick
and
Boseman.
everything.
Shout out to Anthony Mackie.
Mm-hmm.
That was a
And
great show too. Falcon and Winter Soldier.
And guess where Anthony Mackie is from?
Oh yes, sir.
Louisiana.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Hey, it's funny you mentioned that too. That was the greatest quote of that entire series in episode 6 when he talked to the government and asked them, when you guys are making these decisions, who's in those rooms with you when you're making those decisions? The people that you're affecting, or the people that are living the same way you are?
Right. So
And
let
we
me
already
ask
know the answer
y'all,
to that.
and I want y'all to answer individually.
Let's go.
Jacory, I'm gonna start with you.
Mm-hmm.
What's your biggest fear
In
when you
life.
walk out of the door?
Oh.
Do you say a prayer?
Uh. To be honest, no, not really. But I do get worried that whenever I leave, that I don't make it due to unfortunate events like an accident or anything, but also being pulled over by police and like you know something goes bad. Because I don't know if I told you this or anything, but whenever a police is near me or I see a cop car, I get nervous. And I shouldn't feel that way, but because of everything that they've done over the years, I just fear them, and I just makes me want to like am I speeding? Am I going too fast? Is my seatbelt on? My hands are on the wheels or anything like that. Make sure they don't find a reason to pull me over.
Rodney, what about you?
My biggest fear.
When you walk out of the door, do you pray to make it home? Do
Definitely.
you pray that if you're ever pulled over, that you don't end up a fatality? What goes through your mind when you see a police officer?
Honestly,
And
I
you don't
was at.
necessarily have to be driving. So let's say you're at McDonald's and you see a cop.
Mhm.
How do, how do you feel? Does your anxiety go up? I mean,
It's slightly. It's depending on where I am, uh, how fast I'm driving. Like my anxiety definitely jumps a little bit. But as far as like, do I get nervous as soon as I get out of the house? Definitely. Like, to be honest, that's one of the reasons why I'm a homebody. I tried to avoid. as much chaos as I possibly can. And police brutality, trying to avoid police brutality is definitely one of the reasons I tried to avoid. Honestly, I've actually been pulled over once. Luckily, it wasn't a racist act, but I thought it was gonna be for a second. I remember one time I was uh driving on a bridge. I was on my way to class. I was a little late, but I wasn't rushing. I wasn't speeding or anything. And I was coming down, and I noticed there was no car in front of me and no car behind me. And I was like,
Right.
I don't even need to get on the brakes. I'm not going fast. As soon as I get on the flat surface, I'll be okay. I don't even need to get on the brakes. I'm straight. When I was almost there, I just noticed, oh shoot, there's a cop car right there. But wait, the cop is outside. I'm not going fast. I should be straight. The cop was black, by the way. So I'm like, yeah, and it's the brother. Okay, I should be straight. I should be all right. And I'm not going fast. I should be good. When I tell you this dude walks into the street and stands in front of me and then points to the side and tells me to pull over.
Wow.
I was nervous, like, oh shoot. And then sometimes you gotta remember, all skin folk ain't kin folk.
Right, right.
Luckily, this cop was cool, and of course I wasn't trying to be like, what you pull me over for, bro? I ain't do nothing. Like, luckily I wasn't like that, but still I was nervous, like, oh, this dude bald. Please, hey man, look. I wasn't speeding.
I'm just trying to get to class.
Yeah. Is everything okay? Did I do something wrong? He said he had a radar. He didn't. But all I got was a speeding ticket. I was okay. But I was definitely nervous. Luckily, that was the only interaction I had with a cop. But I'm definitely nervous as far as in the future. Like, to be honest, I don't smoke, but I have friends that do. And I wouldn't allow anybody to smoke in my car or have weed in my car because I don't want to get us to get pulled over one day and they just somehow smell weed even though it's not lit up and they find it. Next thing you know, we all in jail.
And then too, you have to be mindful. You do have those police officers out there that will plant stuff on you.
That's also true.
You know, so I got pulled over by Louisiana State Police. I was headed to Houston. I was coming through Metairie. And I got pulled over. This was in 2015, maybe 2016. Pulled over broad daylight. I was speeding. I was driving from Atlanta. And you know, that's a 12-hour drive from Atlanta to Houston. That's 12 hours. So, you know, I had my music up. This like 9, 10 o'clock in the morning. So, you know, I'm because I had been driving since 4 o'clock in the morning. Mm-hmm. So I got the music cut up. I didn't even realize I was speeding. Pulls me over. Louisiana State Police.
Oh, damn, you here too.
I'm already on edge. That's what he does to my window. Roll your window down.
Oh, shoot. It's going left already.
A white police officer. So let me tell you what I have in the car with me. At the time, I had 2 birds because I'm headed to my mom's house. And I got a trunk full of dirty clothes that I'm taking with me to wash in my mom's house. So he pulls me over. License and registration. Okay. I'm in a rental car. Now, mind you, I got a Texas license, but I'm in a car with Georgia plates. Mm-hmm. I'm in a rental car. I give him all of that. I need you to step out the car. For speeding? Are you serious? Okay. And we on the bridge. Coming out. You know what bridge I'm talking about. Mm-hmm. Ain't nothing but water right there. So I'm nervous. Number one, because you got me on the side of the interstate, then all this water is right here.
Oh, Jesus.
He says, oh, the water ain't that deep, so you'll be okay.
Don't joke like that.
That's what he told me. Then they asked me, well, why are you going to Houston? The first thing that popped in my head was, let me be compliant because I didn't want to end up like Sandra. That's all that came in my. I didn't want to be like Sandra Bland.
Right.
So he runs the place. It's a rental car. Here's the rental agreement. Well, who do you live with in Atlanta? He tried to run my roommate's name. Why are you doing all of this for a speeding ticket? Well, I need you to sign this so I can consent to search the vehicle. He searched it. Had me on the side of the road for about 30, 40 minutes. Mm-hmm. Here's your ticket. Slow down. So I'm like 30 minutes away from Baton Rouge, maybe 35 minutes. I pull over the moment I get into Baton Rouge, and I just break down, and I can't even function. I'm driving like this.
Mm.
All of that for a speeding ticket.
Speeding ticket.
Mm-hmm. At the time, I called my homegirl. I was like, what do I do?
You had to sign something
Tell
to
me
search the
why.
car. What?
They never even. So when I went to try to pay the speeding ticket, why the speeding ticket couldn't be found?
Oh, whoa! Now I got a question. Now, what did you even sign?
Right.
If the speeding
I got a
ticket's not
copy of the
found,
speed. I got the copy of the speeding ticket, but when I went to try to pay it, it couldn't find it.
did you ever read it? Not trying to question
Uh-huh.
or anything. Okay, cool. Just
yeah.
Because now I'm suspicious.
yeah.
Like, wait a second. Because the speeding ticket isn't found. What is it that you signed?
Right. And when I tell you my home,
that needs for him to grant to search your car.
I wasn't high because I don't. At the time, only thing I smoked was cigarettes. So that's probably what you smelled when I rolled the window. I was cigarettes.
That's more legal than marijuana, honestly.
I mean, so what prompted you to have to search my vehicle? But I did it anyway because I didn't want no problems. All I wanted to do was just make it to use. I just wanted to get to my children. That's all I wanted.
Right.
So that's why I allowed him to do all of this. Everybody was like, Ashley, you should have called, asked for his lieutenant or his salt. I was not trying to stir up no dust. Because Sandra Bland had just been killed.
Right.
By the Louisiana State Police, white officer. Because it takes about a week or so before the ticket shows up. I called to pay it. They say, ma'am, we don't find a speeding ticket. My son had an encounter with the police.
Really?
Yeah, me and my aunt went to go see that movie Venom. You know that movie?
Oh, of course. I'm a Marvel fan, so I've seen it. I've seen it.
So anyways, we were coming back from seeing it. This cop pulled us over. Hispanic, yeah, he was Hispanic. At the time, my aunt couldn't roll down her window because her window was broken. She had to fix, and it couldn't roll down. So she opened the door, and the guy was like asking, where did we come from? Did we get into a fight or anything? And we were also like still saying like, no, we didn't get into a fight. We just came from the movies and everything.
Get into a fight?
Because apparently there was a fight that broken out, and they thought that we were the people, but. So,
Continue.
Yeah, my aunt was telling them like, no, we didn't come from anything, we just came from the movies and everything. And the guy asked me to get out of the car, and my aunt was like saying, no, he's not gonna get out of the car. And if she wasn't there, I would have complied because I didn't want to start anything,
All right.
But my aunt was very persistent on saying, no, he's not getting out of the car. That was until like 2 people came out and was like saying, no, those aren't the people. They didn't do it. They're like over there, like way from where we are. And they're like, looked at us and like, oh, okay, shut the door and left.
The fan to description type stuff. That's what was going on.
But what got me in regards to that was you failed to identify who you were looking for.
But you were still interrogating him.
You never gave a description on who you were looking for. Never gave a description.
Just at the time, because at the time I didn't think it was like racially motivated. I just like, oh, there's probably a big misunderstanding. But like, like months later, years later, I was like,
they don't care.
Probably just got racially profiled.
They gonna try to find somebody.
Oh yeah.
Now,
because they say we all look alike anyway.
Right. I just remember the Central Park 5 documentary. I kept hearing about it. I was like, I don't want to watch this. And my auntie Jackie convinced me to watch the first episode, and a few of my family members. I didn't last 45 minutes. After that, I was like, I'll watch episode 2 maybe another time. I still ain't watched the rest of it. Right. And I might need to, because it's very important story. It's very important. But I couldn't handle that, man. Because, like, the story, like, and what they went through, all that, it's just for them to not even be the people that did it. It's like, that's messed up.
Oh, yeah. But they have a lot of movies. There's a movie on Netflix I want you to watch. It's called Monster. It's on Netflix. Matter of fact, the young man that stars in the movie is from New Orleans. And it's on Netflix. It's called Monster. Jennifer Hudson is in it. Jeffrey Wright, Nas, John David Washington, A$AP Rocky. It's filmed in New York. You need to watch it.
Okay. I'll check it out.
It's called Monster.
You need to watch that.
Teresa said you need to watch it.
Teresa too. All right, cool. And Netflix ain't slick. I see what Netflix been doing the past couple of years. They ain't slick. They ain't slick at all.
They have their Black Lives Matter movies.
Yeah, because before they've been, because they always do black on black crime. Like white on white crime used to record. They used to record white on white crime type movies.
Right. And even Miss Teresa says Monster it's an awesome movie. Jennifer Hudson is in it. Mm-hmm. I mean, just when I watched the movie, I automatically thought about y'all.
See, I can't like watch like black trauma movies because there's already so many. Yeah. Because like I want something
after so long.
Yeah, and like there's like so much, and then I'm like, is that all that they can do for us? Like, that's all they do? Just make these movies to get these white people like guilty, make them feel guilty, and make them stand with us. And then the next day they they don't, and they go out and say these racial slurs or make a racial joke or anything like that, or
right. There's another one to play.
Like I want a movie where
where we're not slaves.
Yeah, we're like
well, we're not in struggle.
Black people with magical powers, black wizards, something like anything that white people could be in, but like they're black as well. So like,
Teresa, I know what movie you're talking about. Where the black, cause Selena Johnson is in the movie. It's called. I'm gonna tell y'all the name. Hold on.
But a black guy and NYPD officer, isn't it? Two Distant Strangers.
I'm gonna tell y'all because it's a good movie. Oh my god, that movie is so good. Oh my god, I know exactly what movie.
Oh yeah, yeah. It's Two Distant Strangers. That's the movie she's talking about. No, because she put another comment down.
Okay, she says, I can't tremendously the name of it right now, but the kids keep going in a loop of no matter how he changes what he does, he still gets killed by the racist cop. There's another movie. It is called, what is the name of this movie? Oh, I'm gonna tell y'all the name of this movie. Oh my god, when I tell you this movie is so good. It is called Equal Standard. Equal Standard is the name of the movie.
Teresa said that's it.
Equal Standard. Because Ice-T is in the movie. Oh yeah, Corey, she say Two Distant Strangers.
Mm.
Okay, I'm gonna have to check that out. Equal Standard is another one because Tretch is in it, Ice-T is in it, Selena Johnson, Mark John Jeffries is in it. But it's a good movie. Equal Standard. That's what it's called. And when I tell y'all it's such a good movie, awesome movie. But it's a really, it's a phenomenal movie. Whew. Yeah. That's absolutely, yeah. It's a really good movie. So now I'm going to play the last video of Ronald Greene. And you'll actually hear what the state trooper had to say in regards to what he did to Ronald Greene. And then I'm gonna show one final picture, and we gonna continue on with the conversation.
Something that we're obviously all impacted by and all affected by. I'm affected by it, and you know, I think it's time for us to really take a look at what happened, for everyone to have as much factual information as possible.
Tonight, the state police released all of the body cam video from the night of Ronald Greene's arrest, and we're taking a closer look at what happened that night 2 years ago. Good evening, everyone, and thanks for watching. I'm Katie Moore.
And I'm Sharice Gibson. So in all, police released 2 hours and 11 minutes of body cam and dash cam video today.
It shows in detail the moments leading up to Greene's May 2019 death, and Devin Bartolotta went through it all. She's joining us now in the studio with more on all of it. Devin?
Well, Katie and Sharice, this video is really tough to watch. It includes perspectives from 4 different troopers, although some did eventually turn their cameras off, but it shows us much more of what happened that night.
And I beat the ever-living out of him, choked him and everything else trying to get him under control. And then all of a sudden, he just went limp.
Body camera video newly released by Louisiana State Police shows troopers immediately knew their brutal arrest of 49-year-old Ronald Greene may have taken his life. May 10th, 2019, State Police began chasing Greene through Monroe.
We gotta do something. He's gonna kill somebody.
The brutal arrest that followed, Greene would not survive.
I'm your brother. I'm scared. Get out of the car.
Greene is tased, then punched repeatedly in the ribs.
You better not move.
He's then left groaning on the ground for more than 9 minutes. At one point, a trooper drags Greene face down on the ground by his ankles. This new video was released by state police to provide context to a clip of the incident leaked earlier this week. Video that was not willingly released for 2 years because of a federal investigation.
We cannot comment on any of the conduct of the troopers related to this incident because the evidence of the conduct is under criminal investigation by other state and federal authorities.
Governor John Bel Edwards says he strongly supports the release of the video and supports State Police Superintendent Colonel Lamar Davis.
I understand that the Greene family is grieving, and any loss of life is tragic, regardless of how. I realize that there is a great concern with regards to the incident. We share that concern.
As EMS arrived to treat Greene, he is bloody and limp. State police would later initially claim Greene died in a car accident.
Good job. Y'all called it out. Did a good job.
2 years later, investigations continue and no officers have been charged.
Now, Superintendent Lamar Davis, who we heard from today, was appointed long after Greene's death. He has promised swift disciplinary action when federal civil rights investigations conclude. Back to you.
All right, Devin, thanks so much. You can watch all of that body cam video right now. They sent us several pieces of video on our website, wwltv.com. This is in our top stories. We will continue to follow the Ronald Greene case as it develops.
How you feeling, Ms. Ashley? I know that was a lot.
Let me see this. Jacory, what do you have to say? I just I have to collectively get my thoughts together right now. I
mean, the video already like says a lot. The more that I can say, I mean, other than like, where are the people that are like saying, "Oh, back to blue"? Where are they at?
That's a weird question.
My concern when is it gonna stop? You boasted about what you did. You boasted. Nine minutes is all familiar to me.
I was thinking about that too.
You let him lay there for 9+ minutes. The same amount of time it took for George Floyd to die. That clip, you would have thought he was talking about an animal or something. But you're talking about a human life. A human being. You hear this man pleading for his life. I'm your brother, I'm scared. You hear that in the video.
Mm-hmm. He's saying he's sorry.
Right. In that moment, I could only imagine what was going through his mind. I'm telling you, you would have swore he was talking about an animal.
Yes. Yes, Mr. Teresa, I agree.
So, Miss Teresa, The police officer that y'all heard speaking is dead.
The one that was boasting?
Yes, he's dead.
Mm.
Collinsworth, I believe, is his last name.
Yeah,
Killed in a
yeah,
car wreck.
yeah. Give me a sec. I think the person in the comment section said the name.
So
Karma something.
you took the words right out of my mouth. He was killed in a car wreck. The day before he was
Chris
about to be
Hollinsworth.
fired. That's it. Chris Collinsworth. I think everybody in the Louisiana State Police needs to be held accountable because you sat on this for 2 years. 2 years. You see, I really try not to say karma, but it was the truth. Because you lied and told people, you told them at the hospital that this man died due to his injuries because of a car wreck. Right. So you ended up dying the same way you said Ronald Greene died.
Ooh.
So the picture that I'm about to post, go ahead, nephew, go ahead.
You saying that not Jesus, talk about poetic.
Yeah.
Even dying the easy way out, that's poetic. I want to say poetic justice, but that's not really justice. That's poetic for you. Jeez.
Right. So brace yourself for this picture.
Oh yeah, it was going.
So this is Ronald Greene. He's dead. But they say in their report, a car wreck. He died from injuries he sustained in a car crash when he hit the tree.
Do you have the photo of the car?
You know what? No. Hold on, but I can.
Yeah, you get the photo because I remember how the car looked. Like the back of the car got a little wreck on it, but the front nowhere near.
The side of the vehicle is not even consistent. The damage on the vehicle is not even consistent. Let me say not consistent. Was not. What did the medical examiner say? Was not enough to cause those particular type of injuries done to his body.
There wasn't even an airbag. Nothing in the front, the driver's seat or the passenger seat to cause that much of an injury to his face or any part of his body in that car.
So I'm gonna come in. Hold on.
Ladies and gentlemen, watch this. Watch this.
I found both pictures. So don't mind it. Don't mind it. Let me get the pictures.
Yeah, I'm about to show up again.
Yeah. Okay. There you go.
Yeah, that's the car.
Oh.
Yeah,
Car
Jacory.
crash, huh?
Car
crash.
You see what I'm saying?
Car crash. Okay. Hit a tree. All right.
That wasn't even the picture I saw. That looked better. That's the picture I saw.
But a car crash. So they say.
Mm-hmm.
The back got a little damaged, but I never heard of a car crashing into a tree backwards.
Hmm.
And if he did, there's no way his face got. I don't want to sound disrespectful, but there's no way he had that much damage to his face off of that type of wreck.
So I'm gonna flash the picture one more time, and then I want to look back at the vehicle again. So this is Ronald Greene after the fact.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, this is after the fact. But this is the vehicle
After the fact.
after the fact.
Ladies and gentlemen, do you guys think this matches?
There we
Do you
go.
guys think this matches their story?
Stephen Wonder will tell you that don't make no sense.
Ray Charles knows.
Hell no.
Right.
Thank you, Miss Teresa.
But this is the best one.
The
The
windshield
windshield isn't even cracked.
the most damage at the front was the window. I mean, not window, was the mirror. And we know why
Right.
the mirror is messed up.
But if you go back, let me pull this back up. If you look at this side of the hill, this looks almost like the police hitting the car. You get what I'm saying? To get him to stop. That's what that looks like to me. That's what that looks like.
What do you mean by the police hitting the car to get stopped?
You know when like when you're in a high-speed chase and police cars hit the vehicle to make them stop?
Mm-hmm.
That's what that looks like to me.
Okay.
Like maybe they hit him from the back too. Let's look at this one again. See?
Okay.
Like maybe they hit him from the side, or maybe they hit him and pushed him into a tree. But then they say there was no damage to the tree.
The left side of the car looks the left side on the front looks a lot cleaner than the right side does.
Right.
It still looks okay, but still.
But like the medical examiner said, the damage did not warrant this. It wasn't consistent with that. It was not consistent. And then in another clip of the video, because I've watched the 2-hour plus footage, I've watched it all. If you go on YouTube, go to Louisiana State Police, you can watch all the footage. They had his feet handcuffed too, and they drug him.
Yeah.
Seems like something, that would happen in like a Cowboys movie.
Right.
In the old Western. Something like that.
Had his face rubbing on the concrete.
Like they was trying to bump him off the road. Like exactly. That's what that's consistent with. But the medical examiner said they haven't released the autopsy. They have, but they don't have the autopsy report available for viewing. But they say blunt force trauma. His injuries were consistent with blunt force trauma.
Wait. Rewind. Everybody stop. Rewind 10 seconds. What did you say? They don't have what available?
The autopsy report is not public. It's not. You're not able to pull it up. Most times you can put in autopsy report and you're able to see it. You can't pull it up.
Ironically, this time you can't. Just like it took 2 years, ironically, for them to finally investigate this situation and for body cam footage to be exposed to the people.
Because allegedly it was under federal investigation, but the family told y'all The family explained this to y'all. The person at the hospital told y'all when the police officers made this bogus report.
Mm-hmm.
The doctor said, no, 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 no. No. This 2 + 2 is not 5.
The math ain't math in here. I don't want to be
You're
that
trying
guy,
to make
Corey.
you're trying to make 2 + 2 = 5, and it's not.
And I find it funny that people they try to say oh, that's not true. It's this or that, like with the Derek Chauvin trial where they were talking about the drugs in George Floyd's system. The doctors themselves said there weren't enough in the system to kill him, and during the aftermath of the trial, this really old classmate of mine said he had enough, and I'm like, the doctor that did the autopsy literally said there wasn't enough. Right. So make it make sense.
Corey, you see this habit, right? Some way, somehow, they always find a way to defend these guys.
Mm-hmm.
Not the police, not the government. Their fan base. The white people, the I'm not gonna say Republicans because I to be honest, I don't know. There's only so much I can talk about as far as the parties and stuff. I'm not gonna dive into that pot, but y'all know what I'm talking about here as far as that. Some way, somehow, this person shouldn't have resisted it. He didn't. He didn't resist. This person shouldn't have had his hands up. He shouldn't have ran. He shouldn't have did this. Shouldn't have did that. If he was able to talk, he would still been breathing. Then why is he dead?
But it's always like Miss Teresa just said. It was only exposed to the people now because someone leaked it, and they had no choice but to go ahead and come clean and release the footage. But that goes to Governor Bell. That goes to John Bell Edwards. You knew about this. Now all of a sudden, Bell Edwards is yes. Let's. I'm all for them releasing the footage. Why was it not released 2 years ago?
We're about to be halfway through 2021.
We're there. Next week is June.
Damn, yeah, next week is June.
Yeah, tomorrow's the 24th.
Huh? Yeah,
right.
Time flying fast, huh, buddy? But y'all released that footage fast enough. Y'all investigating that footage fast enough. 2019 came in and went already. Y'all should have been looked at that. Y'all should have been did something.
They knew about it.
That's the worst part about that title too. There's going to be a whole lot more coming. I don't want to keep jinxing it. Every time I say, and I said this to my podcast too. Every time I say I'm just waiting for the chaos to happen. Chaos happens the same day. Oh, I pray nothing happens today. I'm praying it's just the playoffs, because the first time I said I'm just waiting for the chaos to happen, they rushed the Capitol. The second time I said I'm just waiting for the chaos to happen, it was during the Derek trial, and we found out about Ma'Khia Bryant.
Right.
So
10 minutes before the verdict came down.
Right, and we know the summer. It's the summertime. Police brutality runs hot and rapidly in the summertime.
Oh yeah.
George Floyd, Breonna Taylor. Last year was already a prime example. Especially after George, when people were getting killed during the riots.
But
I forget about summer 16. I'm sorry,
right.
Go ahead. I want
to. No. What I was about to say, nephew, was will it ever end? Is there a means to the end? Will we start to see justice? Because Ronald Greene is another injustice added to the list amongst all the others.
Well, this is what
Now,
I can say. Uh, I think I think that we're somewhat, some way, somehow moving towards progression, but it's a tiny, small progression, and we ain't got time for tiny, small, baby step progression.
right,
We've waited far too long for 2 steps forward.
right,
We need a leap. And I
right,
understand, we always want to take a mile, but if anybody deserves a mile, it's us. We've
right.
dealt with slavery, from slavery to the civil rights movement, the Jim Crow era, to
Willie Lynch,
Rodney King. Yeah, Willie. Oh, it's funny you mentioned that. I literally,
and we're still dealing
I
with it.
just found out about this too. Um, apparently there's been 200 rules against the Willie Lynch rule that was presented to Congress, but yet none of them was passed.
Right.
22. I can understand maybe 5 or 10. Like you guys are Congress. Y'all get presented a lot of rules a day. I'm understandable. I get it. Like, y'all Congress, 200 and not one. Ain't no way.
And what I
Something's
don't
up.
understand, we as black people have been dealing with injustice for over 400 plus years. But the Asians get a reform bill passed
In less than a
in
year.
60, 70 days.
As they
See-
should, but we need a lot. We should have got the same urgency.
See, I see. I don't know if y'all know about this, but I wish like the America does with black people the way that Germany did with the Jewish people after the Holocaust. The reprimandings that they give them, they like gave them.
Going there for.
I don't even know. I totally forgot what that they gave them, but they gave them all this stuff to let them know that they are taking accountability for what they've done. But America, they don't want to.
Jacory went that far.
Yeah, because I had this question in my history class. They were asking like, oh, should people who were descendant of slaves get reprimanding or reparations
I want
for
my
it?
40 acres and a mule.
Same
Hell
here.
yeah, I want it.
And I said, yeah, we should because not
We'll
only
talk about that too.
Our history has either been erased or someone out the white person taking credit for it.
It's been watered down.
Yeah.
That's a fact.
So Miss Teresa said exactly what we were talking about earlier before we came on.
Yeah.
She says, Ashley, I hate to say this, but it's how I feel. Once black people come together and start fighting against injustice the same way they fight against one another, things will change. If we all come together and present a united front and show them they can't continue to push black people around, a lot of this would stop.
As much as I really want that, I believe that it won't, because there are some, I'm not going to say all, but there are some that believe like, oh, we're using us being black as an excuse to like not do anything or not to do work or whatever they say to make it seem like we're not doing anything. Like
they say that's I've heard some people refer to it as Munchausen syndrome. That's what they say we do.
What's Munchausen syndrome?
You want to explain it?
Oh,
I never heard that term.
Munchausen syndrome is when we do things to get attention. It's Munchausen Munchausen Stockholm syndrome is what it's called.
So
wait. Maybe I'm saying it wrong. Hold on, wait a minute.
I don't know if that's what you're thinking, but how I was like thinking is like, the I don't know, like to call them coons or what, but
Munchausen by proxy. That's what it's called.
Dancing for the white man, basically.
Yeah, but where they say like, they say like, oh, y'all already have this and this. Why do y'all want more? Or what more do you? Or y'all have this. Why do you want more? Or something like that.
I can answer that by one person said in the tweet one time. Y'all better be lucky we only fighting for equality instead of for revenge.
Yeah, because I feel like, but then again, some there will be some that will be on the other side of that crossfire. So that's gonna suck.
I might not condone it, but I understand.
Yeah.
But you know what? Somebody made this statement. I cannot remember who it is, but they say the only way that these rogue police officers are gonna be stopped is when you start murdering white kids.
Oh shoot! I'm not going that far. I can't go that far.
They say honestly, if the police start murdering white kids, that's what they say. If the police,
I thought you were saying us.
No. I can't recall. I can't recall who said it, but they say the only way this is gonna stop is when the police start murdering a bunch of white kids.
Actually, wait. I think during the Capitol raid, people were saying that lady that got shot by that cop that was trying to climb in that window.
You play stupid games, you win stupid prizes.
And people were like saying like, oh, she's our George Floyd or whatever. They were like saying like, oh, say her name.
Wait, you talking about the woman that got killed in the Capitol?
The one that was trying to shoot the security guard and he shot through the door and she got hit in the neck.
The funny thing about that, because I know people making jokes, us and the black men making jokes about that. I didn't know how to feel about that. I didn't know what to say. Because I can't be a part of those jokes and be like, yeah, she deserved it, karma. Like, she definitely should have been there in the first place. Like, you definitely play stupid game with stupid prizes. But it's like, I don't know what to say, yo. Rest in peace to her, going too soon, or be like, you deserved it. So I'm like,
that's like, let me do a better reference in regards to that. That's like Trayvon Martin and George Floyd. And George Zimmerman. I'm so sorry.
R.I.P.
Somebody's following you. Somebody comes to you. What is your first reaction? Is to attack.
Why are you following?
So this woman was trying to get to this security guard, a police officer that was in the Capitol. That man had every right to protect himself.
Right.
Number one, y'all never should have went and stormed the Capitol anyway.
That was national grounds. Y'all invaded national grounds.
Right. Then I think what's sad amongst all of it is the police officer that was murdered by those people. And they're not going to file charges against those people because they say he died from natural causes. That's the one they beat with the flag.
And what I find funny is when anyone like mentions that Capitol raid, they'll retaliate and says, "Oh, the Black Panthers raided the Capitol," and it was a state capitol, not the
U.S. Capitol.
Yeah, it was not the U.S. Capitol, and they did have guns, but they didn't do nothing. They had their hands up. They had it wrapped around them. Had their hands up. They didn't do nothing.
But they never understand us until we resort to violence.
Right.
We've tried the peaceful protest. We've tried all of that. We've tried to sit down and have conversations. The only time y'all hear us
every time.
The only time they hear us is when we start tearing your buildings down that we built.
And the funny thing is, we still never went that far to attacking the Capitol. We tore down the Target and the AutoZone.
We burned the Wendy's. Oh no, I'm sorry. Let me correct that. It was a white woman that set that Wendy's on fire in Atlanta.
Oh yeah, we're not taking credit for that then. I'm still mad at that woman in the wheelchair fooled me. That woman in that wheelchair with that knife fooled me. Cause a part of me, like, even though she deserved it, the nice guy in me felt bad for her saying, damn, that sucked that she getting beat down like that. Then she was
Wait,
able to walk. I'm like, oh nah.
isn't it that woman that got sprayed with that fire extinguisher or
Yes,
something?
that woman.
Okay,
That woman.
okay, yeah.
Like, I felt bad. I felt somewhat bad because she was handicapped. I was like, I want to be like, yeah, you deserved it, but at the same time, it's like, damn, she getting beat bad.
But
She getting eggs tossed at and everything.
But that's like bringing a knife to a gunfight.
She literally, that's damn near what literally happened.
I mean, you know, that's what it is. But you know, as we bring this show to a close, Ronald Greene was another injustice added to the list. All these things they run together now. I can't decipher what crime, you know, what black man from this black. I mean, because they're happening every day. So I say this to say, Joe Biden and Kamala Harris, get on your job and let's do police reform.
I agree.
I don't say to defund the police department, but I do say we need some type of police reform. Because my thing is, start hitting these police officers in their pension. Take their pension away from them. Stop sending them and putting them on desk duty. They murder somebody, they go home. They're on administrative leave with pay. But I'm left to pick up the pieces to try to bury my loved one that was murdered by someone that was supposed to protect and serve. I don't understand. So Miss Teresa says, people always tell me I don't understand. I can't understand because I'm white. She'll say my response to that is always the same. I may not understand, but I stand with you. I feel like black people have been mistreated since the day they were stripped from their home and their countries. Then you have ignorant white people who want to say black people are afforded the same opportunities as white people. Bullshit. You're not afforded the same opportunities because every time a person takes 2 steps forward. Hold up, wait. Let me get the rest of the comment.
It's on some continuity. Wherever the rest is, Miss Teresa, I agree.
She'll say, let me read the comment. So it says, you are not afforded the same opportunities because every time a black person takes 2 steps forward, some racist ass white person knocks them 5 steps back and says they don't belong. I truly wish every racist white pain could be black for white person could be black for just 1 week. Then let me hear their thoughts. I absolutely agree.
Yeah.
Because I'm gonna say this. One of my Facebook friends posted after the trial of, you know, Derek's shoulder.
Mm-hmm.
And a lady on her post commented and said, you try working in the ghetto and some or another. So I commented and I said, imagine living in a well-to-do area as a black person and you have to be home by a certain time. You're not allowed to wear what you want to wear because you don't want to be targeted by these racist police out here where we live. Then you sit down and you have a conversation with me. We live in a very well-to-do area where they target the men that look like you and the women that look like me. We have to be home at a certain time. Because if we're out past midnight, we're up to no good, so they say. You could be coming home from work and they're still going to mess with you.
Mm-hmm.
So you tell me what it's like to live in my world.
The legendary Paul Mooney said it best. R.I.P. to him. Everybody wants to be a nigga, but no one wants to be a nigga.
Right.
My apologies for
Yeah.
cursing.
Oh no. On Black Girl Interrupted, we're uncensored.
Nah, you hit the note on that because a bunch of white people would like they want to be us on the surface level, like hair, the way we talk, the way we dress, the
Don't
way
let
we
me go down
dance.
that bad.
maybe music, maybe music, maybe.
No, ain't no maybe. Yes.
It is the way we look.
Yeah, but once they
If not the sound, they benefit off of it.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
But that's almost like I did a show
Even our
where
slang
I
too.
talked about I talked about self-esteem. And I said everything that we hate about ourselves as black women, do you realize white women are paying thousands of dollars for this?
You talking about the reality
They
shows?
want our hips.
Yeah.
They
I
want
hate
our
that. I
lips.
hate
They
that.
want our big booties. They want they're paying for this, but we don't like it.
Remember those commercial when they said, "Does this make my butt look big?" That used to be an insult.
Right.
Now look, they all want the big butts. That
They
sounds
want the
crazy. Not
full
saying it.
lips. They want the dark skin.
They want the braids.
Right. Hence, they go to tanning salons. They get the collagen lip injections. Oh yes.
The long nails.
They want
Like Teresa just said.
They want your
She
skin
said they want
tone.
your skin tone. That's why they run into the tanning.
Damn.
Right.
Man, she went in on that one, huh?
But you don't want to be a nigga when it's time to be a nigga though.
Or they want to take the step further and do, I don't know
Then
what's it
just let
called,
me-
like blackfishing.
Right.
I don't know if y'all heard about that word.
Blackfish?
You say what?
Blackfishing, where they take makeup, where they're pale and they like put on makeup.
Basically catfishing, but with black instead.
Oh yeah. I read there was a guy.
I catch the flips. Trust me, I catch those flips. I got you.
So
I catch those.
I say this to say Ronald Greene, Dontavious Barnes, Ma'Khia Bryant, Mike Brown, Trayvon Martin, Jordan Davis. Is it gonna stop? Tamir Rice. Teresa say, I tell people every day I'm not white. I just look like this. I wish you could see the faces of the white people. I say that.
Yes. One more thing, but before we end this though, I do want to like add my 2 cents on what Mr. Teresa said earlier as far as like black people with unity.
Oh yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I hope one day we do finally find that medium that we do to finally come together as one, and we don't get distracted to quickly disband and disperse to go against each other. Because some way somehow it'll be the us versus us, or black men versus black men, black men versus black women versus black women. And not only do they love watching that, some of them make money off it. Some like they use that as entertainment. They got reality shows off. And one day, because at the end of the day, like our unity is so powerful. It's so powerful. Like that's why they cater to us so much. That's because the black dollar is so powerful. The black support is so powerful. Like when like that's why when Joe Biden was saying on the Breakfast Club, if you don't know the difference between voting for me and voting for Trump, then you ain't black. Because he knows, like if you vote for him, what am I about to say? Because he knows like voting for him means he's gonna get majority of the black people on it. And black people support is the popular support.
But
And
Joe
once
Biden
we
is a
all
racist.
hey,
But nobody wants to have that conversation.
I agree. Look, me personally, I was just trying to get Trump out of office. That's why I voted for him. I wanted Bernie, honestly, but that was the only choice I had. That was
Nobody. Let me tell you why they didn't want Bernie Sanders. They didn't want Bernie Sanders because Bernie Sanders is for the people.
That's a fact. There's only so much I know, so I can't.
And everybody, we got Kamala Harris. You know, I did a video and I was like, yeah, you know, little black girls, but do your research on Kamala Harris, and that's all I'm gonna say.
Right. But that wasn't by accident that he got Kamala Harris as VP. But I talked about that a tiny bit on my episode recently. But check out the Slick Talk podcast for that. But that's another time. But overall though, like once we get unity like for real together, like I think it'll be the most beautiful thing ever. And I can't wait for that because I refuse to beef with our people for real. I ain't got time for that. I ain't got the mental capacity for that. I want to see everybody win. Like I ain't got time to wait for all of our people to die to give them their flowers. I want them to be there to still smell them to give them their flowers now.
Right. Even
before they really be successful. I want everybody to win. I ain't got time for none of that. I want everybody to win. I want everybody to do good, etc. If we ain't got, because we know they don't support us for real. So if we don't support us, then who else will?
That point. So this is the part of the show. You good, nephew. So this is the part of the show, y'all. Of course, my son is familiar. So this is the part of the show where we share our final thoughts on tonight's episode. Nephew, you let you know what? We gonna do it different.
Oh, okay.
We're gonna do it different tonight. Yeah, we rolling into the final thoughts. But I just want to post this.
You petty.
This is that if I Be Damned was a person, I be damned. They found me guilty on all 3 charges.
I wish his mask was off.
I would have loved to see his smug face under that mask because he was so nonchalant the whole trial. But I love this picture. This is my favorite picture in the whole wide world.
If you got this as a screenshot, you are a menace.
I love this picture because in that moment, Derek Chauvin knew he had been caught, that he had been held accountable. In that moment.
I heard that music in the background.
That moment, he knew. They finna tear my booty hole up once I get the I knew. Let me put it back up here one more time. They gonna get me when I get in there. My booty hole is no longer safe.
He's up in the closet.
They gonna sell me for 2 packs of noodles and 2 Snicker bars.
Nigga not even worth the ramen.
They not even trading you for the good noodles.
Oh my God.
They gonna trade you for 2 noodles and a pack of Doritos. In that moment.
I have a feeling though that even though he will go to prison, that they're not gonna put him in like, you know, any normal prison.
I hope they do.
They're gonna put him right in the same prison that Selena's killers are in.
Wait, like the singer Selena?
Mm-hmm. They're gonna put him right. I'm pretty sure they're
free.
They're gonna tell him throw that ass in a circle. Hey.
That's more like a blunt. For,
Wait,
for a
So
fact.
I'm not gonna celebrate until the other three are convicted.
To be honest, I don't even know
So
if I'm going to celebrate even after that because there's a lot
at
more work
least
to be
it'll
done.
bring some closure to the family of George Floyd.
I agree. Again, I don't want to be that guy, but at the same time, it's like it's so much more that still needs to happen.
But like I say, we have to stop accepting cash for the life of our loved ones. You understand what I'm saying? So let me roll into
Mhm.
my final thoughts, and I'm gonna let y'all.
Yeah, cause we're gonna be here for like 30 more minutes.
I'm gonna let y'all roll. So let me go into my final thoughts in regards to tonight's episode. Y'all know how I rock and roll on Black Girl Interrupted. You know I'm uncensored on this show. Y'all know I talk about a range of everything. I talk about sex, relationships, to injustice. I'm a Black woman in America raising three Black children,
Mm.
a Black man and two Black daughters that unfortunately have to grow up in this cool and unjust world. I'm so tired of having to have the talk with my children and say, hey, don't do this when you leave. I can't never tell them, have fun. When they leave from here, I have to tell them, call me when you make it home. Let me know you're safe. Ronald Greene, I pray your soul will be able to rest soon. One of those police officers was served poetic justice. The same lie you told, you ended up reaping that lie. To the Louisiana State Police, to the governor of Louisiana, and to everybody else involved, I hope you never rest another day in your life. I hope your conscience eats at you. Because this is horrible and horrific. You sat on this for 2 years. You had the footage. To the other little Black boys and the little Black girls and the Black men and the Black women, I love y'all. I pray for y'all. I pray that these two handsome Black men that I have on my show with me tonight live long enough to have children. I pray they live long enough to see their babies have children. I pray over them. To my daughters, to my nieces, to my cousins, every other little Black girl and every other Black woman, I love you. I pray over y'all. To all my Black people, the way we fight amongst each other, we need to stand 10 toes down and fight against these unjust laws, against these unjust police officers. Joe Biden and Kamala Harris, I need you to get on your job. You're on the clock. We need prison reform like yesterday. We need justice for every Black woman, every Black man, every Black girl, and every Black boy that's lost their lives behind somebody that was sworn to protect and serve.
Y'all got work to do.
Absolutely. So you're on the clock. Like the draft, you're on the clock. Jacory, it's on you now. What you got to say, baby? What's your final thoughts?
Not sure what much to say after what we discussed tonight, but like I said before, I hope, like what Rodney said, I hope that we can all come together and fight this together instead of we're all pit against each other over some minor issue that we can solve another time. But this issue right now, this ain't going away. We need to come together. Not only, just us, just everyone, I love, everyone of different shades coming together and helping us. But I don't like that professional activism where performance activism, that's what it is, where they, they do it for, the views and everything, but they don't follow through, or they say that they're going to do it, but they don't follow through. But, to the people that are doing it, following through, I'm happy for you. Keep doing what you're doing. We're going to fight. We're going to fight this.
That's all gas, no brakes.
Full speed ahead.
Come on, nephew. What's on you?
Well, first off, I want to say my condolences to not only Ronald Greene's family, but all of the other families of all the lost Black kings and queens that we've that left too soon, that we have lost tragically too soon. We hate that you had to go this way. There's so much more of life that y'all. I wish that you guys would have lived, and we're gonna try to keep y'all name alive the best way that we can. For one, for two, I'm gonna try to give as much flowers as I can and spread as much love and positive energy as I can, whether it's through my show, whether it's through this show, whether it's through real life. I'm the same person in real life as I am on here, probably a little bit more sillier, but meet me, you'll see. That's for
Right.
two. For three, I agree as far as Joe and Kamala. It's been 5 months. Y'all have done a lot of things for everybody else, but nothing for us yet. And y'all was pushing for our votes the most. So y'all gotta get that straight. And most importantly for us, I can't wait for this drought for us to finally be over, to the point that we're not used to the chaos. A wise man once said, like, it's a feeling of an apocalypse happening, but nothing is awkward. We dealt with chaos for so long, it's to the point that we're used to it happening every other day, every few days, every few weeks. When we finally get to the point where either it's not happening as much or it's not happening at all, to the point that if it does, these cops getting accountability isn't a surprise. It's a good day. So I can't wait for that to happen. And most importantly, I'm happy that Miss Ashley and Mr. Jacory invited me to the show, and I definitely enjoyed myself here. So I appreciate you guys having me. So thank y'all.
And you'll absolutely be back, because June is rolling around. And my episodes for the whole month of June are in regards to Black men
Let's
and
do
Black
it.
boys.
And my birthday's coming up too.
I know it. So it's time for me to give my Black men and Black boys their flowers. It's time for me to give you your accolades and let you know that I appreciate you. I don't care what the world says to you. You're everything to me. Y'all are the true kings. I love everything about y'all. I love what you stand for. I love what you represent. And that strength. Like I tell you all the time, when the world says you're nothing, I feel like you're everything. I stand 10 toes down with y'all. I walk with y'all. I cry with you. I feel your pain. I know what you're going through. Only difference between me and you is gender. It's the only thing that separates us.
Maybe age too, but I'm with you.
Well, yeah, and age. And age. So Miss Teresa says, to all my black brothers and sisters, I pray protection over you all. You are all my family, and I'll always stand for you and with you.
Appreciate you, Miss
And we
Teresa.
need more people like that.
That's a fact.
Exactly.
We need more people to understand, empathize with us. No, you may never be black, but understand what we go through every day. We wake up in fear. Am I going to make it home today? Are my children going to make it back to me? When my children leave to go to school, or when they leave to go to work, or they leave to go hang out with their friends, are they coming back to me? Am I planning another funeral? And to black people, it's time for us to come together. People always say, let me say this, and then we're gonna, I'm gonna let y'all know how to tune into the show, and we'll end. Black people always say, well, why are we not getting in an uproar when it comes to black on black crime? You want to know why? Because we know when Mookie kills Ray Ray, Mookie's going to jail. We know this. We know Mookie is going to be charged with first-degree murder, and it's going to stick. We know this. We know this. What worries us is when the Derek Chauvins and the George Zimmermans of the world murder unarmed people and get away with it. Oh, I'm sorry, Derek Chauvin was convicted, so my apologies on that. But you have your George Zimmermans. You have these other police officers that murder and they go home. They're still entitled to their pension. So this is why we're not in an uproar when Pee Wee kills Lil Earl and Herman them down the street, because when Lil Earl and Herman get caught, we know they going to jail. We know they are. We just want accountability for these police officers that continue to slaughter these black men, these black women, these black girls, and these black boys. That's what we want. There's not an amount of money in the world that can soften the pain. Because you took my son's life, my nephew's life, my daughter's lives. No amount of money can bring them back. I don't care if you offer me the moon and 2 stars. You'll never bring my children back. Keep your money. It's pity money. Well, we didn't do anything wrong, but here's $16 million that you're not going to get all of $16 million, because you got to pay your attorney fees and all the other stuff in regards to this. So you're probably only going to get about $5, maybe $4 million of that.
They're probably expensive.
But nobody wants to have that conversation. You can't give me hush money, because that hush money is not going to replace your life, and any of the other lives that have been taken by the police officer. So stop accepting money. Tell them you want justice. You want accountability. Once I get that, then maybe you could pay me some money, but I want accountability first. So on the last comment, Miss Teresa says, I live it every day, girl. I'm a white woman in Alabama with mixed kids. Trust me, I know the struggle. Absolutely. They still hanging niggas from trees. We're still strange fruit in Alabama, in Mississippi, in Tennessee, in Georgia, in South Carolina. Texas, we're still strange fruit. And if you don't know what strange fruit is, look it up. Look it up. I hate we have to continue to have these conversations, but guess what? We have to. We have to talk about it. We have to. If we don't talk about it, who does? Who does? I have a platform and I'm gonna continue to utilize it for my voice and their voices to be heard. Y'all know Black Girl Interrupted is uncensored. Y'all know I talk about everything on here. I have the most uncomfortable conversations, but guess what? God says in order to be comfortable, I have to make you uncomfortable. So y'all already know. So to you, nephew, I want to say thank you for coming on the show. I look forward to doing some more episodes with you. I absolutely can't wait for the collabs June. To my
Same here.
son. You know, I love having you on the show.
I enjoy being here too.
Because this is exactly the type of conversations we have to continue having. If you have the platform for it, you utilize it. You don't let anyone silence you. Who cares if they get tired of hearing about it? We're tired of dealing with it. Now.
That's a word.
Y'all are tired of talking about it. We tired of living through it. I'm tired of worrying about these two.
There you go. There you go.
I'm tired of dealing with it. I'm tired of having the conversation. Be safe. Don't wear a particular color. Keep your hands on the steering wheel. Be home by this time. You get somewhere and you can't get home, stay wherever you are. So y'all don't forget. Y'all know Black Girl Interrupted goes live every Tuesday and every Thursday night, 8 p.m. Central Time. You know y'all can find me on YouTube. I'm on Twitter. I'm on Instagram. I'm on all the streaming platforms. Set your notifications so y'all don't miss another episode. Don't forget Tuesday night. We are talking about abortion.
Oh, shoot.
Oh, yes, I remember. Keep going.
As I end the month of mothers. Tuesday night, 8 p.m. Central Time, 9 p.m. Eastern Time. We're going to be talking about abortion. Conversation we don't have too much in the Black community. Thursday night, mental health open forum. So y'all leave a review. Let me know what topics you want to hear. So Miss Teresa says one topic for a future show. She said, I think it's North Carolina. She said, not sure, but one of the southern states is trying to bring back hanging as a form of criminal punishment. Researching. Oh,
damn.
It is North Carolina. Or they're trying to bring a firing squad. One of the two. It's something like that, but I know what you're talking about. And Miss Teresa says, and I need to be on a show with you sometime, girl, because I got a lot to say.
Yeah, get her on. Get her on.
Let me know. I'm always open for guests. Anybody that knows me, baby, y'all got to come on here and be. I'm uncensored, baby. Y'all know I laugh, I cry, I joke, I cuss, I get angry, I do it all. Today is the first episode that I did not cry. I'm telling, I almost did, but I had to catch myself.
Now I caught that. I wanted
I had to.
Go ahead, get your tissue. I ain't want to say something for you to pour out.
But I do, because I'm. That's how passionate I am in regards to doing this. So yeah. So y'all go check me out. I'm on Spotify. I'm on iHeart. I'm on Deezer. I'm on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts. Baby, just put in Black Girl Interrupted. and your girl come up. Leave a review. Y'all let me know what topics y'all want to hear. What y'all want to talk about? But I'm telling you right now, July, y'all brace yourself for the month of July, baby, because it's gonna be hot. And yes, I am doing an episode, like I say, in regards to my fathers. So everything in the month of June is dedicated to y'all, to you black men. Every episode, black men. Rodney says she wants to check out.
Thank you.
Oh
Thank
yeah,
you. I appreciate it.
Yeah, I was gonna ask after the show about your little podcast, but I will after.
All right, no, bro. Just whatever questions, I got the answers.
Man, y'all could
I always wanted to
collab
say
and
that.
do a show. I thought my big brother would have tuned in, but I'm gonna connect you with Big Brother Will. Awesome, Black Male Podcast. But yes, so on that note, I love you guys. Y'all know I appreciate y'all tuning in with me week in and week out. I appreciate all the love that y'all continue to support. I mean, that y'all continue to show your girl. I love it. I appreciate y'all. This is why I do this and week out. Y'all are why I continue to do this. Even though there are days that I don't feel like keep doing it. But don't forget, y'all, every Tuesday, 8 p.m. Central Time, 9 p.m. Eastern Time. Don't forget to follow Black Girl Interrupted. I am on Facebook, I'm on Instagram, I'm on Twitter, I am on YouTube. You can find me on, like I say, all the streaming platforms. Put in Black Girl Interrupted and come chop it up with your girl. So hold up, we got one more comment. So Teresa says, good night, fam. Love y'all. We love you too, sugar.
Love
Appreciate
you.
You. Appreciate you. Be safe.
Thank you for tuning in with me. I appreciate all your comments, all your feedback, all your input. It's greatly appreciated. And don't forget, y'all, Tuesday night, 8 p.m. Central Time, 9 p.m. Eastern Time, we'll talk about abortion. Yeah, we talking about it. So, oh yeah, it's gonna get heavy.
Well, no, that's y'all. I'm staying out of that one.
I know, right? The men never come on, but they comment. They do comment.
That's women business. I'm staying out of that one.
Don't forget, we're gonna be talking about men business come June.
Well, it depends on where it is.
We're talking about everything in regards to the black man. Stay tuned for Thursday night, and you'll know about the upcoming episodes, and then I'll send you the episode guide too, because I got a couple of more episodes ahead, and I'll send you the episode, and you let know which one you want to come on. So,
cool.
Thank y'all for tuning in. I love y'all so much. I'll see y'all Tuesday night, 8 p.m. Central Time, 9 p.m. Eastern Time. Mwah. Love y'all. Have a good night.
Y'all be safe. One love.
Yeah, take care.